Races tonight, as we've been talking about, are expected to be very tight. So we are bringing in political analysts to talk with us on what is at stake regarding potential outcomes of every race. Our Isaac Petcash is in our alert desk area tonight. He is talking to our analysts both on air and online. Right now, though, he is sitting down with Erie News Now contributor Paul Wagner. We're welcoming Paul back into the building, and we're checking in to see what they're talking about and where their conversation has taken them so far. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, even no one better to talk about this election than Paul, who's covered so many of them through his 40-plus years at Erie News Now. We were just talking on our live stream about the polarization of this Mehmet Oz versus John Fetterman Senate race, and the fact that, we have never seen two candidates that don't represent politicians like we've seen with these two.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be when you saw a race for the United States Senate, there would be a lawyer on each side, maybe one wearing a gray suit, one wearing a blue suit. That was the difference. But now you've got a television personality against a guy who doesn't look like a politician, 6'8", wearing a hoodie. And I think that's captured a lot of people's attention, on top of the importance of the control of the United States Senate, which has resulted in over $140 million from out of state being poured into Pennsylvania. All of those factors and the whole anger about politics and everything that we're in the middle of now, I think is really amplified it with this race being center stage.
Let's touch on that. $140 million, put that into perspective. That's money coming from outside the state for this race. I think, Paul, if nothing else, that has to go to show how important this race is in Pennsylvania. And as you know in your years of covering elections, Pennsylvania is a bellwether state when it comes to the midterms specifically.
Yeah, it's a bellwether state, and with the Republicans and the Democrats 50-50, with Vice President Harris able to vote, break the tie if there is a tie. If the Democrats could win this seat, Pat Toomey, the Republican, holds it now, that would give them a 51-49. And then if they would lose someone, they could still retain their majority, and that certainly helps President Biden. The Republicans know that. That's why both sides are just pouring in the money.
Obviously, you voted today. I voted today. A lot of people that we've seen on the streets have voted today. Do you envision voter turnout? We'll talk to him online in a second. We're going to talk about voter turnout on Facebook in a couple of minutes, but we got to send it back to the studio. Paul Wagner will be with us throughout the night here as we continue our digital coverage. Eva?